Hello, my name is Sue and I'm 13 years old. Today I'm going to talk about a country named Switzerland. Do you know a lot of things about other countries? Some of you may not, so I want to introduce a country named Switzerland. Switzerland is a neutral country. They chose to be a neutral country in 1815. Switzerland is in the middle of Europe. It's near Germany, Austria, Italy, and France. First, I'll talk about Switzerland's few cities. Switzerland's capital is Bern. There is a clock tower that is almost 800 years old, and Switzerland's National Assembly building. In Geneva, there are almost 200 international organizations like World Trade Organization and World Health Organization. Warsaw is the largest city in Europe and also chosen as the best city on the world. Second, I will introduce Switzerland's society and economy. Switzerland's people are organized by Germans, French, Italians, and Swiss. So they speak Swiss, German, French, and Italian. The economy of Switzerland is one of the world's most stable economies. Switzerland has achieved one of the highest per capita incomes in the world, with low employment rates and balanced budget. Third, I'll talk about Switzerland's Alps. The Alps are one of the great mountain range systems of Europe. Alpine countries are Austria, Switzerland, Liechtenstein, Germany, France, Italy, and Monaco. The mountains were formed over tens of millions of years ago as the African and Eurasian tectonic plates collided. The Alpine region has a strong cultural identity. The traditional culture of farming, cheesemaking, and woodworking still exists in Alpine villages. The tourist industry began to grow early in the 20th century and became the dominant industry by the end of the century. Now the Alps are a place of many interests and many people visit. Also, the Alps are the background of the book Hagen. Next, I will talk about Switzerland's famous food, cheese. If you imagine Switzerland's cheese, you'll think about Swiss cheese which has many holes. Swiss cheese is sometimes called Emmental cheese. Switzerland's clean nature helps the taste of the cheese. People raise cows and make very good cheese. The popular cheeses are Swiss, Prince, and Gruyere cheese. Now I will introduce skiing in Switzerland. In Switzerland, there are many ice caps. Also, people can ski a lot because the weather is cold. So skiing is popular in Switzerland. Last, I will talk about Switzerland's food. I will introduce a few typical menus they eat. They often eat small breads, sausage salad, and meat pies. Also, Switzerland's chocolate is very famous. I just talked about a few things, but I hope they are good to you. One day, I want to visit Switzerland. Thank you for listening.
Hello, my name is Sunny and I'm 13 years old. Today, I will talk to you about the sound of music. Do you have a favorite movie? Many Koreans love watching movies. And usually, everyone has their own favorite movie. So today, I will tell you about my favorite movie. There are many genres, comedies, thrillers, musicals, and more. I like musicals the most. There are many musicals, but my favorite is The Sound of Music. This movie was made by Robert Wise and it came out on March 2nd, 1965. This movie is set in Salzburg, Austria. I went there and it was very beautiful. I felt like I became Maria. In this movie, there is a nun named Maria. One day, Maria goes to a famous captain's house to teach his children. Maria teaches songs to the children. They sing the songs Grammy, Edelweiss, The Lonely Goatherd, My Favorite Things, and 16 Going on 17. The captain's daughter and the boy fell in love, but the captain didn't notice. And the boy When the boy and the captain's daughter dance, they sing the song 16, 9, 17, and they look happy. Dream Me is another really popular song from this movie. Maria and the children sing this song on a hill. I like this scene because I love the music. If you get the opportunity to watch this movie and listen to the songs, you will feel better than you did before. When I was young, I was a little scared when I watched this movie because the movie is set during World War II. There was a scene where the family escapes from their house. They had to go to a singing contest, but they were planning an escape. But it was discovered that they were trying to escape. I was really worried when I watched this because they could have been captured. However, thanks to Maria's friends, the family escapes. Maria was a nun, but she was very bubbly, so the nun hated her. Inside a religious house, she should have had restraint, but she was too outgoing. For example, she was late to prayer at the convent. The nuns believed Maria was silly, but in my opinion, she was different. Maybe I have similar personality, so I connect to Maria. I like this movie a lot. The characters are enjoyable, and the songs are wonderful. I'd like to watch this movie again. If you watch this movie, you will not regret it. So I recommend that you watch The Sound of Music. Thank you.
Hello, my name is Mike. I'm 13 years old. Today I'll talk to you about science. Just a few hundred years ago, many people believed in the science that was made by Greek scientists. When people talk about science, others will say he or she didn't believe in religion. However, the Greek scientists were treated badly because of their theories. I think we should learn about science because scientists sacrifice their lives to improve it. Some scientists had great theories, but many people didn't believe them. One of them, who I respect and like, is named Albert Einstein. He wrote many theories. However, during his life, people thought his theories were crazy. But later, his theories were proven true, so he received a Nobel Prize. His most famous theory is the theory of general relativity. We have learned a lot about stars using this theory. During his life, he thought people couldn't make anything using this theory. However, people made the theory wrong, and many people died because of this during World War II. Another famous scientist is Isaac Newton. He was a curious boy. One day, he was interested in the power of the wind, so he tried to discover the wind's effects. He was a prodigy. When he was 12 years old, there was a windmill near his school. He studied it to understand how it moved. Then he made a smaller model and it moved like a real windmill. When he was an adult, he used a prism to break sunlight into red, orange, yellow, green, blue, indigo, and purple. He discovered the laws of gravity when an apple hit his head. Some people think he discovered the laws of gravity because he was lucky, but actually he discovered it using a lot of effort. I believe nobody is smart without effort. If people make an effort, they can be great scientists, and they may discover more rules of science and invent things that could make our lives better. I think science is very valuable. Science comes from the efforts of many scientists. I think we have to thank the scientists who have discovered the important ideas for science because science has helped us in many ways. Thank you for listening.
Hello, my name is Rachel and I'm 13 years old. Today I'm going to tell you about racism. In this world, there is a lot of discrimination. What kind of discrimination have you experienced? You may have experienced sexism, racism, classism, ageism, and more. I think sexism is the biggest problem in Korea. However, I believe racism is the most serious problem worldwide. Let's look at some examples of racism. A long time ago in America, whites treated blacks poorly. On American buses, there were white seats and black seats. Another example is if Koreans visit Japan, some Japanese may treat Koreans poorly as well. Also, I've heard that in Australia, there is a lot of racism towards Asians. Do you know why these things happen? Usually racism happens because people believe their race is superior. A common problem of racism exists between white and black people. In America, before 1863, whites had more money than blacks and they had created their society where they lived, so they thought whites were better than blacks. They judged people by their skin color. Whites even owned blacks as slaves. There is racism in Korea too. We are educated about it, but it still happens often. In Korea, there are many multicultural families. Their children go to public schools with Korean students. The problem is Korean children ignore them and treat them badly. I think the cause may be different than other cases of racism. Korea is a homogeneous country, so Koreans are not familiar with other races, especially among children, and differences are easily seen. Today, America's problem has improved. We are crying for equality, but there is still a lot of racism in the world. As an international solution, we can educate children about racism. We should teach them how and why racism is bad. Also, we have to change our laws. Foreign workers in Korea usually don't get enough money for the time that they work. We must give them the same money as domestic workers. Nevertheless, I think the best way to solve racism is to change our perspective. We have to understand every race is the same. We need to remember that no one's better than anyone else. If we change our thinking, we can solve the problem easily. Furthermore, we can open our minds to foreign or multicultural friends. When we open our minds to foreigners, they will open their minds too. We can be good friends with them. I hope racism can be solved someday soon. Thank you.
Hello, my name is Iris. I'm 13 years old. Today I will talk to you about the Ice Bucket Challenge. We can see Ice Bucket Challenge videos on social media. This is an issue in the world. First, the Ice Bucket Challenge started with the Boston College baseball player named Peter Frappent. He is a Lou Gehrig disease patient. The Ice Bucket Challenge is pouring ice water on your head and challenging 3 more people to do it. The 3 people have to do the Ice Bucket Challenge or donate $100 to an ALS charity. The Ice Bucket Challenge has both pros and cons. One positive thing is we can help ALS patients. A con is we could get a cold. While I searched about the Ice Bucket Challenge, I found out more and more things about it. I discovered the Puppy Ice Bucket Challenge. I was so surprised. I think this is animal abuse. The Ice Bucket Challenge was made with good intention, but people have used it negatively, so I was disappointed. The Puppy Ice Bucket Challenge is a negative side of the Ice Bucket Challenge. Recently, I saw another negative part of the Ice Bucket Challenge. All the contributions were donated to Lou Gehrig patients. I was very surprised. I think all of the contributions should be donated to the patients. After running this, I believe that the Ice Bucket Challenge has more cons than pros. I think we should just donate the money to ALS patients. An ALS patient named Park Seung-il, a Korean baseball player, said he couldn't do the ice bucket challenge because it could affect his health. In Africa, people may think we are crazy. 1.8 million people die every year due to problems with the water in Africa. Water has a greater impact on the lives of humans than the AIDS virus. We need to be thinking about how to save water, not waste it. We need a solution to this problem. If you donate just a bit of pocket money to Africa, you will feel so good about yourself. So how about donating some money and saving the water? Thank you.
Hello, my name is Stephanie. I am 13 years old, and today I will talk to you about Jeonju. How many things do you know about Jeonju? We live in Jeonju, but we don't know a lot about Jeonju. Let's see, Jeonju is in the Jeollabuk-do province. Also, Jeonju is surrounded by Wonju. There are many famous places and delicious foods in Jeonju. Jeonju has many tourist spots. Among them, one of the most famous places in Jeonju is Hanok Village. Hanok Village is made up of about 700 houses. We can take Korean etiquette lessons or even sleep in some of these houses. Walking in Hanok Village, you can see many historical places. Some other tourist attractions are Jeongdong Catholic Church and Gyeongbusan Hall. Jeongdong Church is a very old Catholic church in Jeonju. Its architecture is considered to be one of the most beautiful things in Korea. So it is used at weddings as a filming location for movies and dramas. Gyeongbusan Hall has this quiet beautiful too. It is almost as old as our language, Korean. King Lee-seung-ga's portrait is found inside. He founded the Joseon dynasty many years ago. Also, it is designated as a tangible cultural asset. These are important historical places, but there are another important historical place in Jeonju, Pungnamun Gate. Pungnamun Gate is near Ongdae and Geksa. This gate is designated as a cultural treasure. I think we have many treasures in Jeonju. There are many delicious foods in Jeonju. Jeonju was selected by UNESCO as the fourth in the world for creative foods. Bibimbap is a staple in Jeonju. Bibimbap is made with various vegetables, steamed rice, and red pepper paste. It is easily made using local vegetables. So many tourists eat bibimbap. Another typical food in Jeonju is bean sprout soup. It is made of bean sprouts and steamed rice and various vegetables. So people eat it with eggs, depending on their taste. It is very delicious and it has unique taste. Some Koreans and foreigners like bean sprout and rice soup. Jeonju has many treasures, but the most important treasure is the people, us. Thank you.